we're unpacking a sequence where things turn incredibly dark and entirely survival-driven. This is the exact moment where the world of Ethereum basically proves it really doesn't care if you're the hero. We're going to break down the environment, the biology, and the hidden lore of this absolutely terrifying location to understand exactly how it works. Picture this: you're on the night current, drifting toward this massive landmass covered in thick, heavy fog, and the ocean around you is just unnaturally still. That's the chilling opening hook we get right out of the gate. It sets this incredibly eerie, deeply unsettling tone. But what really gets under your skin is the total absence of normal environmental cues. There are no glowing waters, no waves, and absolutely no life signals. The navigator even points out that it's almost as if the ocean itself is actively avoiding this place. So, let's explore this dead zone. The physical anomalies hit the crew the second they step onto the land. Right off the bat, the environment signals that something is fundamentally broken. We aren't just looking at a creepy jungle. The very laws of physics and biology are completely warped here. You have rivers literally flowing upward. The trees are twisted into bizarre, unnatural shapes. The ground itself is warm. It feels almost like it's breathing. Plus, there are giant skeletons embedded in the earth and no birds, no sounds at all. Taking all of this in, the feathered creature makes a terrifying realization. They aren't looking at a natural ecosystem. They are looking at evolution spinning completely out of control. And that brings us to the island's primary threat mechanic, when evolution goes completely off the rails. Here is where things get wild. The crew encounters their first beast, a creature with a tiger's body, wings made of torn feathers, and multiple glowing eyes. But honestly, how it looks isn't the real problem. As our masked fighter points out, there's a terrifying systematic loop happening. Every single time the creature is struck in combat, it doesn't just take damage. It actually uses that incoming damage as data. It instantly analyzes the strike, mutates mid-fight to grow stronger, and then literally splits into identical copies of itself. Vera nails it here. She quickly pieces together the fatal flaw in their whole approach. She realizes brute force is just feeding the beasts more data. Every punch, every strike, it's just teaching the island how to kill them more efficiently. This forces the crew into a desperate retreat deeper into the jungle. Now they aren't trying to win, they're just trying to survive. All while this massive silent shadow with glowing red eyes is looming right above them in the canopy. Which leads us directly to the island's ultimate threat, the apex predator. Right in the middle of their escape, the breathing ground suddenly splits open, and Kai and Lyra find themselves trapped in this lower valley filled with slowly pulsing, glowing plants. But before the big bad actually lands, we get this incredibly profound moment of emotional vulnerability from Lyra. Up until now, we've been dealing with massive sci-fi concepts, right? But this quiet, hesitant confession anchors everything in very real human stakes. Kai promises they'll get out together, but she genuinely believes her presence only brings destruction. It is a fantastic, grounded narrative pause right before all hell breaks loose. Because that quiet moment, it shatters instantly when the apex predator finally descends. This monstrosity is an impossible chimera. It's a massive fusion of multiple species, heavy scales, torn wings, massive claws, just an absolute nightmare package. But the worst part is that its physical form is constantly shifting and adapting to its surroundings. It instantly counters every single move Kaya and Lyra try to throw at it. This illustrates exactly what Lyra noticed earlier. This thing is the terrifying result of replacing natural selection with an unending instant feedback loop. Evolution usually takes millions of years, but here, it literally never stops. The apex predator instantly crunches combat data to become faster, stronger, and smarter in real time. It is the ultimate biological weapon. So a massive shift in strategy is absolutely critical here. The big question is, how on earth do you fight something that adapts to everything? Going head-on is a guaranteed death sentence. It's the ultimate tactical puzzle. But Kai realizes something crucial. The creature isn't just mindlessly attacking them, it's highly analytical. It's actively learning from their logical combat patterns. You throw a punch, it calculates the trajectory. You dodge, it calculates your speed. So, Kai's tactical pivot is beautifully simple, but incredibly dangerous. If the creature thrives on analyzing logical data, the only way to beat it, or at least survive it, is to stop giving it logic. They have to completely abandon structured attacks. So they deploy the strategy of pure chaos. Lyra stops aiming entirely and just unleashes chaotic, completely unpredictable lightning patterns. Kai completely ignores the beast and disrupts the physical environment around them using ocean resonance. Both of them start moving erratically, making absolutely no sense. And it works. By denying the beast any logical input to analyze, its processing essentially bottlenecks. It struggles to adapt, it slows down, and that buys Kai and Lyra the split-second window they desperately need to escape the valley and get back to the crew. Safe for the moment, we finally get to the massive lore reveal. The island's true nature as an abandoned experiment. Once the crew regroups, the feathered creature realizes this entire chaotic island is a deeply engineered environment. The navigator makes an incredible connection. They find an ancient lab hidden deep in the jungle, and it features the exact same faintly glowing symbols that Kai previously discovered in the ocean ruins. This proves without a doubt that this island didn't just happen naturally. It was artificially created by the exact same mysterious architects who built those underwater structures. Now, the feathered creature assumes it's just a failed experiment, but Vera jumps in with a deeply chilling correction. Not failed. Abandoned. Think about the implication there. The mysterious creators didn't fail at making a hyperevolution machine. No, they successfully built it, turned it on, and then just walked away. They literally left it running in an endless loop of mutation, and who knows how long it's been going. But guys, the true horror lies even deeper within the facility. Tucked away inside a massive final chamber, there is something still alive. Out of the pitch black, a colossal eye opens. But unlike all the chaotic feral beasts out in the jungle, this entity is described as calm. It's highly intelligent, it's just sitting there in the dark, breathing and waiting. This episode leaves us with a closing thought from the narrator that totally flips the script on the threats in Etherian. It changes everything we thought we knew. We aren't just dealing with dangerous wildlife out there, we're dealing with the remnants of advanced, horrific bioengineering. And that brings us to the core mystery you should be taking away from all of this. If a hyper-evolving, practically unstoppable ecosystem like bee styling was just a side project, an abandoned lab experiment they just left running, what were its creators actually trying to build? And seriously, where are they now? It leaves you wondering what other artificial horrors are waiting for the crew out there in the tides. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and remember to keep your eyes open for what lies beneath the surface.